Hello, my small wonders. Are you ready for a story? This one is called Chocolate Mousse by Maggie Kneen. Shall we begin? Chocolate mousse. Ooh, just look at that cake. Yum. Mousse loved chocolate. So one sunny day, he set out for the village bakery to buy himself a chocolate cake. In the bakery window, along with some delicious cakes, there was a job advertisement which read, "Wanted 1 mouse to work 2 hours a day." "Wanted 1 moose," he read. "I could have as many chocolate cakes as I like if I worked here." Squish, squiggle, squeak! Moose squeezed himself through the door. "I'd like to take that job," he said. Mrs. Mouse was quite surprised. Her babies seemed surprised too. They stopped crying for a moment to watch Moose. He was the biggest thing they had ever seen. "Dear me!" exclaimed Mrs. Mouse. "You're not a mouse, you're a moose. I don't think I have a uniform in your size just at the moment." Moose looked so sad that Mrs. Mouse went and searched for a uniform big enough to fit him. "How about this apron?" she asked. The baby started crying again. "Sorry for the noise," she said. "I wish my babies would fall asleep." Moose thought she sounded tired. Moose was very pleased with his uniform. He loved his new job. Slurp, gulp, burp. When Mrs. Mouse wasn't looking, Moose would eat spoonfuls of cake mix or a few chunks of chocolate. Sometimes the babies would stop crying and watch him. They were so cute. Moose offered the babies some chocolate. "The babies need some lunch before they have any chocolate," said Mrs. Mouse. "Let's make some sandwiches." But the sandwiches Moose made were far too big for the mice. Mice have only very small teeth, you know. "They need mouse-sized sandwiches," said Mrs. Mouse patiently as she tried to comfort the hungry babies. "Those sandwiches look huge." "Let's try making some pancakes instead," said Mrs. Mouse, giving Moose some milk and flour and 3 lovely fresh eggs. Splish, splash, crack! Moose got everything safely into the bowl, including some chocolate, when Mrs. Mouse wasn't looking. He really loves chocolate, doesn't he? Mrs. Mouse put her hands over her eyes as Moose tried to work the electric mixer. The babies watched in silence, spellbound. "Oh dear, look, all the batter's going everywhere. What a mess he's making." Slip, slop, splat! Moose flipped his first pancake so high that it hit the ceiling with a slap and hung there dripping with batter. Oh dear, look at the pancake dripping from the ceiling onto Mrs. Mouse. The pancake then unfastened itself from the ceiling. Plop! The baby mice started to giggle. Poor Mrs. Mouse. Moose peeled the pancake off Mrs. Mouse as quickly as he could and threw it in the garbage. But he couldn't carry all of it. The babies happily picked up some of the pancake bits and lumps of chocolate and munched away. It looks like the babies are having a great time with Moose. Wham! Whee! Slam! On his way back, Moose slipped and slid across the floor on his bottom, landing with a crash against the sideboard where all the best china was kept. Oh no! When the noise of the smashing cups and plates quieted, Moose stood up. He was covered in dust and ribbons of pancake. All over the kitchen were broken cups, bits of pancake, crusts, crumbs, and eggshells. Moose picked up a broom and tried to tidy up the mess. Skitter, scatter, clatter! Moose had almost finished sweeping when he tripped and knocked a tray of chocolate chip cookies off the shelf with his broom. The babies couldn't believe their luck. Look at all the babies enjoying the chocolate chip cookies. Poor Moose. He had tried so hard, but everything just seemed to go wrong. Maybe I'm not the best moose for this job, he said. To be honest, I only applied because I love chocolate. A tear ran down his cheek. Oh my, a chocolate mousse. That's always special, said Mrs. Mouse. And then she had an idea. I think I can find a place for you here. Cuddle, nuzzle, snuggle. Mrs. Mouse put the babies in Moose's arms, where they fell fast asleep. They loved Moose. Thank you, Moose. You have helped me so much, she said, looking at her quiet, contented babies. Every day after that, Mrs. Mouse served the customers, and Chocolate Moose took care of the babies. And every now and then, Mrs. Mouse would bring Moose a treat from the bakery, sometimes something very chocolatey. Poor Moose, he was a terrible baker, wasn't he? But he was really good with the babies. I'm glad he still got to eat a lot of chocolate. I love chocolate. How about you? I could do with a hot chocolate right now. Did you like this book? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until our next story, my small wonders. Bye-bye.